They say somewhere beneath the Polish mountains. An entire train vanished, a train filled with stolen gold, art and secrets, sealed underground as the Third Reich fell apart. No one saw it leave. No one saw it again. For 80 years, treasure hunters, soldiers and governments have searched, and all they've found are whispers, but every legend begins with a truth. And the truth about the Nazi gold train may still be waiting in the dark. The last days of the Reich. April 1945. The empire that once stretched across Europe was burning from within. The streets of Berlin echoed with artillery fire. The Red Army closed in from the east. In bunkers and safe houses, Nazi officials burned documents, packed trucks with crates, and whispered about escape routes. Germany's fall wasn't only military, it was financial. As Allied bombers shredded cities and front lines collapsed, the Nazi elite faced another fear, losing the fortunes they had stolen. Banks were emptied, vaults raided, and entire trains filled with stolen gold, diamonds, and art began to move under secret orders. The Third Reich had built its war machine on theft, gold from national reserves, jewelry from deported families, art confiscated from occupied Europe. And now, in its final months, it sought to hide the evidence. Amid the chaos, somewhere in Lower Silesia, an area soon to become Poland, a secret train was said to be loaded with treasure beyond imagination. A train guarded by SS troops armored and ready to vanish. Its destination, unknown. Its purpose, survival. Some whispered that the train carried gold and jewels. Others said it carried state secrets, weapons, or even bodies. But when the war ended, that train was never seen again, and from that moment, a legend was born. The legend of the Nazi gold train, the gold of the Third Reich. The foundation of this mystery begins with greed on an industrial scale. The Nazis had looted Europe methodically, creating one of history's largest organized thefts. From 1939 onward, as Germany invaded its neighbors, the Reichsbank and SS units collected everything of value: currencies, gold bars, church treasures, artworks from Paris to Prague, and the personal belongings of millions sent to concentration camps. Inside the camps, prisoners' possessions were sorted in warehouses called Canada because they overflowed with goods: rings, watches, coins, even gold teeth extracted from the dead. That gold was melted into bars, stamped with Nazi marks, and stored in vaults or shipped by train to secret locations. By 1945, as the Reich collapsed, vast amounts of treasure remained hidden. Hitler's high command ordered evacuation convoys to move east and south, far from Allied capture. Many shipments reached Austria or Bavaria. But one train, it was said, left Breslau, today's Wrocław, in April 1945, bound for the mountains. The treasure on that train, according to later rumors, weighed hundreds of tons. The value, billions in today's currency. The gold train was meant to vanish, to wait for a new dawn that never came. The train that vanished. The first whispers of the gold train came from eyewitnesses, railway workers, local villagers and German soldiers left behind. In the last weeks of the war, a heavily guarded train was seen heading west from Breslau toward Wałbrzych. Its cars were sealed, windows blackened. The SS supervised the operation, executing anyone who approached. Then somewhere between the towns of Książ and Wałbrzych, the train entered a tunnel and never came out. After the war, locals told Soviet troops what they had seen. The Red Army searched the area but found nothing. Some say the Soviets did find it and kept the discovery secret. Others insist the tunnel collapsed, trapping the train forever. The story endured through decades of silence. Hidden archives, secret testimonies, and strange military activities in the region kept the rumor alive. In the towns near the Owl Mountains, people spoke in hushed tones of treasure buried beneath their feet. Old maps hinted at a rail line that no longer existed. Abandoned tunnels crisscrossed the hills, and deep beneath the forests, the Reich's last secrets slept in the dark, buried under the mountains. the Owl Mountains, or Góry are beautiful and sinister, a labyrinth of peaks and forests in southwestern Poland. During the war, the Nazis transformed these mountains into a colossal underground complex known as Project Riese, or Giant. Thousands of forced laborers carved tunnels through solid rock under SS command. The project's true purpose remains unclear. Perhaps underground factories, perhaps a command bunker for Hitler himself. Some say it was meant to protect the Reich's treasures. When the war ended, the Riese tunnels were sealed. Most were unfinished, flooded, or inaccessible. Yet local legends tied the gold train directly to them. They said the train entered one of the Riese tunnels near WWII, its entrance later blown up by retreating troops. For decades, adventurers, miners, and treasure hunters risked their lives exploring these ruins. Many died in collapses, poisoned by gas, or crushed by falling rock. But still, the stories grew. Deep underground lay a train of gold, entombed beneath the mountains. The mystery merged with myth. Some even believed the Nazis had buried advanced technology there, prototypes of jet engines, secret weapons, or the mythical Die Glocke, the bell. The truth was hidden under tons of stone, sealed by fear and time, the silence of the Cold War. After 1945, Poland fell under Soviet control, and the region that once belonged to Germany was sealed behind the Iron Curtain. The chaos of the immediate post-war years made truth impossible to separate from rumor. Soviet engineers arrived first, digging through the Owl Mountains under military guard. They claimed to be looking for weapons, not treasure. But entire areas were fenced off, and locals noticed convoys leaving at night. Some said the Soviets found the train and took everything. Others believed the tunnels had already collapsed and were too dangerous to enter. By the 1950s, the communist government suppressed all talk of the gold train. Discussing bourgeois myths could mean prison. Yet stories survived in whispers between miners, in smuggled letters, and in the notebooks of historians who risked everything to record what they heard. When the Cold War intensified, Western intelligence agencies also took interest. Declassified CIA files from the 1960s mentioned possible Nazi gold caches in Silesia, but nothing concrete. Decade after decade, treasure hunters came and went. A few found fragments, rusted tracks, abandoned machinery, old SS insignia, but never the train. The silence of the Cold War swallowed the legend, but beneath the quiet, it still breathed. The 2015 discovery, 70 years later, in the summer of 2015, the world once again turned its eyes toward WWII. Two men, Andreas Richter and Piotr Koper, claimed they had found the lost Nazi gold train using ground-penetrating radar. They said their scans revealed a massive, metallic object buried deep beneath the earth near KM 65 of a disused railway line. They released a blurred image showing the outline of train cars hidden under the soil. Within days, the story exploded across global media. Headlines declared, "Nazi gold train found in Poland." The Polish government confirmed it was taking the report seriously. Soldiers and historians descended on the area. Local hotels filled with journalists, and souvenir shops began selling gold train mugs and T-shirts. Excitement turned to frenzy. People dug in secret, hoping to find coins or bars of gold. Television crews broadcast live from the site. For a moment, it felt as if history had come alive again, but experts warned caution. Geologists doubted the radar images. Historians reminded everyone that no wartime document ever proved the train existed. Yet hope was too strong. After 7 decades, the legend was about to be tested. Hope, hype, and disappointment. By late 2015, the Polish military began investigating the site officially. Excavation equipment rolled in. Archaeologists prepared to open the ground. The world watched. Then came the anticlimax. After weeks of scanning and digging, officials announced there was no train. The radar object, they said, was simply natural geological formations, layers of rock that created misleading reflections. Disappointment swept through WWII. Treasure hunters accused the government of covering up the truth. Skeptics declared the legend finally dead, yet even amid frustration, small details kept the fire alive. Workers reported finding traces of man-made structures underground, brick walls, metal fragments, and sealed tunnels not shown on modern maps. The government quietly closed access to those zones for safety reasons. Was the train still deeper underground, or had someone found it long ago? The absence of proof became its own mystery. The two men who sparked the search lost credibility in the media, but they maintained their belief until the end. Something is there, they insisted. Something enormous. Theories and shadows. Today, three main theories explain, or attempt to explain, the fate of the Nazi gold train. Theory 1. The myth. According to many historians, the gold train never existed. It was a tale born in the chaos of defeat, exaggerated by fear and greed. The witnesses were confused. The documents were destroyed. The tunnels, though real, never held treasure. In this version, the story survives because people want to believe. Theory 2. The cover-up. Supporters of this view argue that the train was indeed found either by Soviet troops in 1945 or by Polish authorities during the Cold War. The discovery was suppressed to avoid political turmoil or international claims for restitution. Some even suggest that a portion of the treasure was quietly transported to Moscow, where it remains under state control. Theory 3. The buried truth. The most romantic and haunting theory claims the train still lies sealed deep beneath the mountains. Over time, the tunnel collapsed, erasing its entrance. The heavy gold bars rest in darkness, untouched since 1945. Ground-penetrating radar, skeptics say, simply hasn't reached deep enough. Each theory has believers. Each feeds the same timeless hunger, the dream that somewhere under the earth, history still hides something magnificent. The echo of gold. Legends rarely die, they evolve. The Nazi gold train has become more than a story of stolen treasure. It's a mirror reflecting human obsession, greed, curiosity, the need to find meaning in the silence of the past. Every generation rediscovers the legend and asks the same question: what if it's true? In the forests of Lower Silesia, tourists still walk along the old railway line. Signs mark KM 65, where the 2015 dig took place. The air smells of pine and damp earth. The hills echo faintly when trains pass far above. Somewhere down there, perhaps under stone and time, lies a secret that refuses to fade. Maybe the gold train was real. Maybe it was a myth. But what endures is the fascination. The idea that the past never truly ends. It only buries itself deeper, waiting to be found. The story of the hidden Nazi gold train is not just about gold. It's about the things humanity hides when it fears the truth, the things buried in tunnels, in archives, and in memory. And so, even after 80 years, the legend continues to whisper beneath the mountains. An echo of war, an echo of greed, an echo of gold. In the end, history leaves us with echoes, not answers. Maybe the train never existed. Maybe it was found and silenced, or maybe it's still down there beneath the mountains, sealed in stone, untouched since 1945. But the real treasure isn't gold. It's the question itself, the one that keeps us digging through time, searching the past for proof that the world still holds mysteries worth uncovering. Because as long as we keep asking, the echoes of history will never fade. Soft, static fades. Screen turns black. Echoes of WWII. The secrets they buried still speak.